Right there.
My name is Zhoel Irion. I'm a running back and linebacker. Expectations for the seasons are like pretty simple as usual. Obviously, it's gonna go out to the field, and we always expect to go out there and win and try and beat these teams. And it's not even just beat them on the field, beat them up mentally, because even like in the end game and the long end of the season, we're gonna have to play them in the semis or in the dome. I mean, just depending on how the season goes. Like that's where we want to be. It's like we want to just defeat these people mentally and physically on the field. So that's kind of the expectations right now.
Yeah, I know last season you got going a little bit slower last season as a running back, but as the year picked up, man, you were a freight train. What clicked in the middle of last season?
I mean, when Sully got hurt, it was definitely like me and Peter both looked at each other knowing that we had to step up for the team, because if it wasn't me and him, then we weren't going to have a run game. Without a run game, it's really hard to have an offense. So me and Peter were really working it with Coach Hess last season and Coach Anderson, really getting our plays down, getting everything down. And Jackson Kano last year as our quarterback, he was also really helpful because he was also a diverse quarterback of throwing and running, which also helped our run game a lot. So it was just a mixture of things to help it all click together.
We're here with Gage West, tight end and linebacker for the Sturgis Scoopers. Gage, could you talk a little bit about your expectations for this season?
Yeah, Zhoel kind of nailed it on the head. We're really going to try to go out there and be the most physical team we can be. Really just try to out-physical everybody we play. We're not the biggest, we're not the fastest, but we really take pride in being the most aggressive. So that's a big goal for us, is just going out there and hitting everybody as hard as we can every play and just trying to wear them down.
Coach Koletzky talked a little bit about you guys' work ethic, about how much work you've put in the off season. Why is that important to have that for a successful year?
Oh yeah, a lot of work. Everything that leads up to the season really kind of puts into perspective everything that's going to happen. So we had a really good show out this summer. We had about 50 plus guys in the weight room every day, and just the culture shift, really, everybody's wanting to be there, everybody's wanting to buy into the culture, everybody's, really working their butts off and buying into the program. So,
yeah, in week one, you face what I would maybe call your nemesis, Cooper Terwilliger. Talk to your dad a little bit about that, and he said that you are kind of focused on having a good game against Pierre. Can you talk about that and why?
Oh yeah, so Pierre, they kind of gave us a butt whooping last year, and that wasn't, we don't want that to define who we are, and we really want to come back out there and get our revenge and kind of prove to the state that we're a state championship contending team this year. So, and we're just going to go out there and really just play with everything we got and really try and make it happen. So.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
Straight down, front row. Looks good.
I'm Tate Johnson, quarterback. I'm a sophomore.
All right, Tate. A little bit of quarterback competition going on this summer, this practice. Could you talk about that and what you've learned, I guess, leading into this season?
Yeah, I think it just helps us push each other. Yep.
Yeah, who do you see as your biggest competition coming up this year? And I guess when you look at the schedule they're playing for the Scoops?
I think Pierre's going to be tough. I think we've been putting a lot of work in for them, and I think we will be better prepared this year.
Sounds good. How does your style differ from Austin's style?
I run a little more but I can also throw too. And he's more of just pocket passer. Yeah.
Sounds good. And who do you have, what kind of targets do you have this year? Who do you look at for getting some playing time at receiver and tight end?
I got everybody's a target. But our big ones, we have Jack, Jolly. Gage West is a good one. We got Wyatt, he's a good one. They're all pretty good though.
Sounds good. All right, thank you so much. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
You bet.
Good. Hey.
Talking to Jace Gingras, receiver, Sturgis Scooper. First, Jace, welcome to Sturgis Scooper football. You were at Stevens last year, right?
Yep.
And it's good to be a Scooper because your dad was a Scooper. Am I right?
Yes, he was.
What was your dad's name?
Jesse Gingras.
I know we have another Gingras playing receiver for the Sturgis Scoopers. Good to have you here. What can we expect to see from the Sturgis Scooper offense?
We're looking pretty good. We can go in the air. We have like good running backs, and a good line to run behind, so should be good all around.
Is it basically a pass-based offense, or are you looking at mixing it up?
Mix it up. I mean, we have RPOs. We could do anything basically. Good line.
For our listeners, RPO means?
Run pass option.
Okay. So you've got the quarterbacks, you've got the receivers. Are you looking at playing any defense this year?
Yeah, I'm playing outside linebacker, and yeah, I can go down to DN, and I also can go into coverage. So yeah.
So you always ask people when they talk, they go both ways, offense or defense, which is better?
Defense, because you're the one hitting, not getting the hit.
Good luck this year.
Thank you.
Hey, junior varsity. JV. On an E. In your window.
We're here with Sturgis Scooper head coach Chris Koletzky. Chris, coming into this season, I know you talked a little bit about having two quarterbacks. Could you talk about any kind of quarterback competition you have going on right now?
Yeah, right now we have Tate Johnson, who's a sophomore, and Austin Floor, who's a senior, competing for a starting quarterback spot. And I'm really tickled to death to how those guys have competed and come out. And we've seen some really good stuff from both of them. They've been helping each other out, which is also another great thing. It shows you what kind of character they have. But they both looked really good at times, and it's a tough call for us right now, and that's something that's a good problem to have. And having both of those guys on your team and working together to compete is something that we want in every position, to be honest. And so that's just good to see from the quarterback spot. And those are two outstanding guys that are definitely going to give us an advantage this year, and that's something we're kind of seeing how that's going to shake out here next couple of days.
Yeah, and you have a lot of returning players coming back on the offensive line. You've got Gage West at tight end. How about receivers? I know there's a few guys you lost from last season. Who do you think you'll focus on this year?
Yeah, with Gage coming back, obviously he's going to be a focus in the passing game there. He's going to be a major threat for opposing defenses. We have Jack Jolly has a little bit of experience. Wyatt Marler played a little bit towards the end of the year playing that slot there, so he'll be there. But we are inexperienced at the other receiver spot, so that's going to be something that we're trying to figure out right now and trying to get ready for Pierre and trying to figure out who's going to fit in best and do the best job for us. So that's definitely some tough spots to fill from guys like Brody Royer last year and Seth Burton and Kolitz and those guys that we lost.
Yeah, defensively, again, solid on the D-line. Your linebacking core looks stout. Yeah, talk about your defensive line and your linebackers.
Well, defensive line, when you got a guy like Dion Reese and Tatum Larson and Tanner Goulden, three seniors in your D-line, that's always a great thing to start with that. And linebacker core, I'm tickled to death because we're really going to probably rotate 5 guys. We're looking at Brody Bullitt as Sam outside linebacker, and then rotating him with Gage West, playing Sam as well in our heavy package on defense. And then you got Jace Gingras playing our rush, so there's another 6'4" guy, nice length, athleticism. And then you got 2 thumpers inside, Zhoel Irion and Garrett Roloff. 2 guys that have really hit the weight room hard in the middle. And then you look at the secondary. We have 2 returners and Jack Jolly, who's got a lot of experience, and Wyatt Marler. And then our corners are inexperienced. And right now, that's our biggest question mark. I told those guys yesterday, I'm trying to buy time because we're learning and we need to get there quick. And I hope we get there. We're just not there right now, but we still have another week of prep. And that's going to be our biggest question mark because we have about 3 or 4 guys at each corner spot competing, and no one's really kind of taken that over. So that's going to be the biggest question mark, but we're working there and, trying to get things ready for a really good Pierre team for week 1.
Special teams. I mean, you have, I think, maybe this is overstating it, but one of the best kickers in the state on your staff here. He was so undersized last year. When you saw him come on the field, it was like, wow, I hope he doesn't get hurt. But you watched what he did over the summer at these camps. Isaac Smith has just had an incredible summer. Talk about Isaac a little bit.
Just, hitting that age where all of a sudden you sprout up and get more mature and stronger, and all of a sudden it hit this summer, and he's worked his tail off. And being able to have a kicker that can kick in the end zone is something that we haven't had in a long time, and that's a huge advantage in high school when opposing teams are starting on the 20 as opposed to the 35-yard line, which you've seen the past couple of years, and you're trying to play defense from there. The percentages go way down for that team's likelihood of that they're going to score. So having him there in the kicking game is a big deal for us, and right now Austin's going to be our punter, so having him punt there, and he's got a lot of experience punting the ball, and he's done a great job. So that's going to be two guys that we rely on in our special teams there. And, we got Coach Roloff coaching our kickoff team this year. You guys know Coach Roloff and his mentality, and those guys are going to be ready. And Coach Graff's coaching our kickoff return. So, those will be things that we look forward to.
And the addition of Wayne Sullivan up in the booth to kind of put eyes on the field for you. Talk about Wayne a little bit and what he might bring to the Scoops.
Just the experience. As a coaching staff, as a head coach, to be able to go to him and talk to him, what would you do here in this situation? Have you had this happen before? What should we do? Somebody that relies on the situational awareness up in the booth that has 25 years of experience and is a Hall of Fame coach, you can't duplicate that. So that's what we're looking forward to, and having his experience up there, especially game situational stuff, just getting that advice.
All right, that's all I have. Anything you want to add?
No, we're excited, getting ready for Pierre. We know it's a huge challenge. This team has really worked hard this summer. We've checked that box off in the weight room. That's probably the first time I can say that in a long time. Now, doesn't mean anything unless we work hard every single day, but this is really a special group when it comes to work ethic. It is, and I'm proud of them so far. We got a lot of work ahead. We got to focus on each day being intentional and getting prepared for Pierre week 1.